everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for this week's Community Storytime. My name is Anna Newborg, and I'm the director of the Wilkinsburg Public Library. And I'm so happy to come to you today and read to you two books about my favorite time of day, which is bedtime. The first book we're going to be reading is called Edgar Gets Ready for Bed, and it's about a little raven named Edgar. So let's begin. Once upon a midnight dreary. Edgar, finish your vegetables. Nevermore. Eek! Don't do that to your sister. Eek! Looks like Edgar is bothering his sister instead of finishing his vegetables. Now go clean your room. What do you think Edgar's going to think about that? I'd think that too if I was you. Looks like Edgar went into his room and started drawing with crayons on the wall. What do you think his mom thinks about that? Edgar! She yells at him. It's time for your bath. What do you think Edgar's going to say? Nevermore. Let's get you into your pajamas. Never mumble. Time to brush your teeth. Eek! There goes Edgar after his sister again. Edgar! Can't you sit for 1 minute? No. Not even one? Never, says Edgar. Come on, dear, and I'll read you a story. Here's Edgar in bed, and here's his mother reading him a bedtime story. It's called The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Mom, do you still love me? Edgar asks his mom. Yes, Edgar, I'll always love you. Evermore. And it looks like Edgar finally went to sleep. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that one. Next, we're going to read one of my favorite books when I was a child. It's called Good Night, Moon. In the great green house, there was a telephone, and a red balloon, and a picture. Can you see all those items in this picture? I see the red balloon up at the top. The cow jumping over the moon. And there were little bears sitting on chairs. And two little kittens. And a pair of mittens. And a little toy house. And a young mouse. I see the kittens over here playing on the carpet. And a comb and a brush, and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. Good night, room. You see the room there? It's like someone's in bed. There's the balloon, and the phone, and the kittens, and the quiet old lady whispering, hush. Good night, moon. Good night, cow, jumping over the moon. Good night, light, and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. Looks like the kittens are falling asleep finally. Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. There they are over on the table. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering hush. There she is. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. And that's it, the end. Thank you everyone again for joining me for this week's story time. And we'll see you next week at Tuesday at noon with another special community guest. Thank you.